rock and roll, excess, everything,
Hmm.
and fun. You're young. You just, and certainly back in the early '80s and just through the '80s of, certainly Australian pub rock. It was ferocious. It was pretty wild back then. And obviously compared to now, where I'm a, father, a grandfather. I got 3 grandchildren, from 13, 10 and 2.
Big question. How have you learned to stay fit while touring?
Well, there's regular fitness, and then there's gig fitness. And gig fitness comes about, when you're constantly on the road and you kind of try and get your energy to show up at the right time every night. So I'm just joyful in the fact that I'm still able to do it. So I really, really appreciate where I'm at now in life. I'm very grateful, to be at where I'm at, and I love singing. And honestly, I sing better now than I ever did.
What have you learned about taking care of your voice?
Don't smoke too much. I drink a lot of honey and chamomile tea. Big gobs of honey and hot, like super hot water, hot chamomile. I have that in constant rotation on stage. I'm 64 this year. And in the last, it's probably August last year, it was the first time I stopped going to the gym. So, the late nights, the travel, everything was like, I had to make a choice, like, stop bashing yourself in the morning at the gym because your body's, not holding it as well, to the gigs. I was getting a bit too tired. So I actually haven't been to a gym in a year and a half, like fully, but I intend to get back. We finish this touring at the end of March.
Can you tell us the story of how you ended up on the operating table?
I went for checkups. In fact, I'd never been checked up properly ever before in my life. And my GP, God bless her, she, I'm the youngest of 11 children, and heart disease is rife through my whole family and through, my parents' families, both sides. And she was 47 years old at the time. And she wanted me to get all these tests. Anyway, I went to the cardiologist, did all on the treadmill, the gucky stuff they put on you that, looks into your organs and stuff. Passed every test with flying colours. The cardiologist at the end said, "Hey, listen, there's a thing called an MRI. I think I want you to go and do that. You can do that next week. Everything looks great. The ECGs, everything's fantastic. Blitz, the fitness thing." And he said, "But it's going to cost you $600. Now I said, "Why is it going to cost me $600 when, I've got full medical insurance?" He says, "Everybody has to pay $600 for this MRI scan." And I just went, "Well, if you think I should have it, of course I'm going to do it." So he said, "Yeah." It was an afterthought on the cardiologist's part. So I went the following week. It was Thursday. I went in the morning. I was living in Sydney at the time. I get a phone call. It was the cardiologist, and he goes, "John," word verbatim, "John, what are you doing?" I says, "Oh, I'm just at Bondi about to have a swim, get something to eat, da da da." He said, "Well, get in your car and get to Prince of Wales Emergency now." It's a beautiful blue sky, thousands of people everywhere swimming. "Get to Prince of Wales Emergency now." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "And listen," he said, "don't go home, don't stop and talk to anyone, and whatever you do, don't exert yourself." And I said, "What do you mean you got me now? What's going on? What's happening? Am I going to have a heart attack?" They said, "No, you're about to drop dead," quote unquote. See, my heart is 100% fine. Nothing wrong with my heart. It's the arteries. That's the problem. So now that I have, this blocked artery, the left one again, and they've managed, because, obviously just a lot of years later, they've got these other drugs and stuff, that I've been fine, absolutely fine, been able to deal with it. But my cardiologist is like, put this thing on and now you're back and you're, singing in the middle of the sun, because, I've had some dizzy bouts. Dizziness is a part of it, and just a couple of things that you go, "Oh, I don't want to take any chances." I distinctly remember, because I was in hospital for like a month, and I just remember lying they go, I'm not going to meet my grandchildren. I didn't have any grandchildren at that point, but I just thought, I just really want to meet my grandchildren. I really want to live, you know. So there was that, and also just the fact that I felt lucky. When we check your car, you check, you know, I mean, it's pretty basic stuff, but you know, man, we're proud or whatever. It's stupid. I don't know, but your health is your wealth. You know, that's a very true saying. And I always say, listen, if you got kids, you got grandkids, whatever, you owe it to them to be around as long as you can. You know.
Yeah, well put.